Good morning. Welcome to OptionsTender. It's Tuesday, March 18, 2025. I'm going to go through SPX and SPY, and we'll stop at the VIX because my power is scheduled to be out, and I want to make sure you get this not pre-market, intraday on the market. And by the way, if you are interested in get these videos intraday, consider becoming a YouTube member. It starts off at 99 cents. You get the Discord and trade alerts. And individual analysis, we went through, those members, we went through timing cycles of the Mag 7 and how we kind of knew that we still had some lows to be made with Google and Amazon primarily, and then suspected Meta as well. Okay, so let's just go through this really quick update from yesterday. Again, we're trying this new format out, and we're going to get down and nitty gritty with the charts from the daily to the 65. So we have SPX, and I'm starting off with the McClellan oscillator. This is very, very important indicator for me. And I'm going to share this with you every day. So here's what's happening. We have our traditional chart here with the bearish rising wedge, broke down from the wedge, and I think we're back testing. So looking at this really closely, we're in that bounce range, but this consolidation, this former consolidation area, that's where price is bouncing around in right now. So we could go as low as about 5,600, and that would be 560 and SPY. And so we got into, you see this whole trend down here. We definitely broke that trend, and I can indicate that like we do the RSI. Make this, boom, boom. All right, so we broke that trend. It seems clear now, and I think the low is in. Now we came into oversold territory. Okay, not deeply oversold, but oversold nevertheless. And I think that's just creating a bounce. So this bounce probably is going to make it into, if not even negative divergence, I think it's going to get into this overbought territory. We're looking for an A, B, C. That's just the simple way to say it. So this is nowhere near. We're just mid-range right now. We're back testing here, and I suspect this will go higher after FOMC. So after that, after we see an overbought situation here on the McClellan oscillator, then I think we continue our downtrend lower. We will get to this oversold territory, especially when we start going down for wave 3. All right, so we can look at this two different ways. And just to not predict the future too much, I think this is going to start expanding where you have wave 1, 2, and wave 3 is much lower. But just keep in mind that these could be, this could lose momentum and you form some sort of diagonal too. You could get a 1, 2, and then wave 3 is shorter than wave 1, especially if this is an leading diagonal. Okay, so we'll pay attention to that. This could be a shorter wave 3, and then again, a smaller bounce for wave 4, and then an even shorter wave 5 going into this trend line here. So don't think that this has to be devastating, but then that would set us up for another larger wave 2, and then so on. Okay, so but my plan is that we get this nice big bounce, and then wave 3 is larger than wave 1, and I'll show you those targets after we start to get a wave 2 going on. But this oscillator said we're oversold. We are not anymore. We're cycling up now, so we're looking for overbought conditions. Going to our normal indicators here, our normal setup. We still don't have a crossover. We're looking at the histogram heading up there. That's why this is taking some time. We need to form some market structure. We're pushing off of that 8 EMA, and we're looking for some traction. We had that straight move up, and we're looking for a higher low before we can continue to gain momentum to the upside. And so that's where we're looking for this crossover to happen. I do think we get a crossover and get a lower high, and this trend continues to the downside. And after this, we had a negative divergence here as well. And we had positive divergence here. And now we're starting to cycle to the upside. And we came up to about the 50 area, and that's typical for some resistance there. So that's not surprising, but I do think we make a higher low and we continue to cycle up to the upside, and it's likely we get into overbought territory. Same thing here. We're seeing the slow stochastic starting to move up. We got our buy signal. We had a positive divergence. And I know this is going to get really redundant, but we're gonna see this in real time each time we do these videos. So it's going to be super important. We're just keying in on price action and these indicators to show us what we think is happening. Now, DMARC, again, this is going to develop. We're just going to look at it really fast. We're getting that 1, 2, and now 3. So again, we're going to look for the 4, 5, all the way up to the 9 count, right? And that 9 count should show us some exhaustion up here, and we'll get ready for a turn back to the downside. Awesome oscillator, starting to get green bars, headed up. I do think this tests all the way up to the 0. If not, gives us a little whipsaw by the time this move is over. Now going over to SPY, then we'll check out those the Bollinger Band setup. First off, the money flow. So this points out all of those divergences. It's doing a really good job at pulling out some turns here, at identifying turns. All right, and it did it again recently. We had that positive divergence while we had lower prices. We had higher lows here in the money flow index, which has a lot of volume. It has volume that's involved in this indicator. So I like this a lot. I don't use volume in particular with individual candles, but this integrates it with our price action. And then we have our Bollinger Band RSI setup. That again, that was a buy signal to get back down to that Bollinger Band with a positive divergence and an oversold RSI with positive divergence. All right, buy signal. So we're waiting for this to play out. I think FOMC will give us that situation. Now let's go over to the VIX. All right, and this VIX is getting the bounce that we were looking for. Let me put on the indicators here. All right, so the VIX is holding on to that 20 moving average, and it's being squeezed between the 8 EMA here. So I think this move is likely done because we have our 8 EMA that we're pushing off of. If it wants to go a little bit higher, we have resistance here as well. I know that resistance starts a little early. We're actually at it already. It doesn't have to go that far, but it's a zone. So I don't think this move goes up much higher. And then I think we start to break down into lowers. And we have our cycle on this here too. So I'm looking for the end of March and the beginning of April for a low to come in on the VIX. Okay, that's all I have here on the 65, and we'll go backwards. I want to get this done before power gets shut off. So we have had a gap here. So we were looking yesterday for a reversal on the market, and it's because we were channeling this out. We're right in the bottom of that channel, and I saw that this was getting to a point where I thought that price action will move up here. I don't think we'll hit those. I think we'll hit the lows here by the end of the week here. I don't think we'll make it up to this options expected move up here. We're at the top of the channel already. I don't know if we're actually going to hit it because it's losing momentum or gaining momentum to the downside, but I think we'll close this gap probably tomorrow. All right, again with FOMC, and I think this will break down. I don't think this channel will hold, actually. I think it'll actually break down and move lower as far as possibly the range. We built a channel here and possibly all the way down to the end or lower end of the channel, which is around 16. Back to SPY. On the 65-minute, here's our traditional look, bearish rising wedge. We broke down from that wedge. We made it to this consolidation area. We are definitely looking for a breakout from this downtrend line from the options expected move. I think we exceed that. This is going to be a volatile week with options expiration. We do have a little bit of room down here to retest that megaphone pattern. So if we do go a little bit further, we have that. We have some resistance or support right underneath us with the gap and horizontal support. All right, so I don't think there's much downside left. We have a gap here to fill. Again, I think we'll fill this tomorrow. Actually, I think we'll probably fill both of these by the end of the week. And then if price action gets really crazy, this one too. But I think we can count on at least this 576 to probably hit. All right, if we hold on top of it, then we can continue higher, which I think we will going into next week. Now, with that said, a bunch of the tech names already hit that lower end of the options expected move, and so I don't expect a whole lot of tech to hit the upper edges of theirs. There are a couple that did not. And so we're seeing relative strength, and we talked about that in our individual analysis members video. And now we can get down to the nitty gritty here for the 65. We're back testing this consolidation area that broke out. We're back down to about 40, and it doesn't have to go all the way into oversold territory. When you start yourself into a bullish trend, this could be just about it here. Maybe it makes it to the 30, which is just barely oversold. And so we have the slow stoke that's cycling through here. First of all, I'm not doing this in a row. So we have the MACD that's cycling up. We're back testing. We're over the zero. I think this might just hold on to the zero, and it continues higher, cycling to the upside. RSI, again, oversold is 30. Could go down as low as that, but I don't think it will get deeply oversold now that we're in an uptrend. We're starting an uptrend. We don't have any market structure yet. We're looking for a higher low. And we have the slow stoke cycling down here. So, an hour or two, this could be down to the oversold territory when that happens. If you need to, if you're looking for longs here, we can look for a SPY long pretty soon. And we'll look for the buy signal out there. All right. We have, we're on the 20 moving average on the 65-minute as well. So you can see that we're holding on to that right now. And that's good enough. But we have the 50% that we touched here already for the retracements. And let me show you that real quick. And I want to get out of here with, we didn't do timing on the daily, on the daily time frame yet. So we got our high here in the 17th. So yesterday we got our high. I can take those out. And now we're looking for possibly a low here on the 18th, right into our 50%. We do have 60%, a little bit lower here, which would be typical. But you're in a B wave. That's enough. And if you're even more bullish, it could have been the 382. B waves are the hardest thing to figure out, okay? But we're looking at our indicators. They're getting to those oversold territories. We're looking at each of these things, and I think we have our lows in here at the 50%, but we do have one more underneath. And so with this, I'll take this off tomorrow if that's the case. And then we're looking for more timing. We have a cluster right here. We're looking for more timing going into the end of the week. All right. And our DMARC, take a look at this. Setting up here, we got that 9 sell signal, went a little bit higher, ended up with our reversal here. We have a 1-2 so far. Awesome oscillator. I know I'm bouncing everywhere here. We're getting positive there. Now it's coming back down. I think this continues to actually go higher, but we're in positive territory now. All right. So let me revert back to the daily timing just to make sure we don't have anything, nothing yet. Okay. And then the other board. All right, just showing that we're holding on to this zone. Okay, that's it, you guys. Thanks for watching. We will get in a lot more detail as we go, and I won't rush the other videos coming up soon here. Again, my power is going off, so have a wonderful day. We will talk to you tomorrow.